I make it a point never to mince words or sugarcoat mediocrity, and thus made no bones about my utter revulsion of the Predator prequel 2022's Prey.
Why do you want to hunt? Because you all think that I can't.
What the hell are you?
Whether it's the Resident Evil franchise, last year's Alien Romulus, or the upcoming Jurassic Park Rebirth, I've grown to have a singular revulsion to the back to basics retreating strategy for modern franchises. It's an industry buzzword phrase that masks the inability for IPs to innovate and instead exploit nostalgia, aka recycle what actually worked in the past because current events have proven that recent attempts to continue to milk a series for all it's worth have completely failed. Therefore, the way forward is backwards. What's old is new again, and in Prey's case, regurgitate a bunch of scenes and dialogue that fans will like this time around because they liked it when they first saw it 40 years ago.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Right, Halloween H40? Right, Star Wars The Force Awakens? Right, Scream 2022? And mind you, this isn't even taking into account how Prey 2022 opted to do the fresh take of girl bossing it up with its lead, Chief Wokahantas, a 5'5", 90-pound soaking wet runt who's supposed to take on a 7.5-foot alien hunter powerhouse who bodied a bear? While the greatest weapon at her disposal was a stick.
Right.
Therefore, when I, your gracious horror host incarnate, heard word that the same director was not only winding up for a follow-up within the Predator series, but set to deliver an animated feature of Predator hunts in different time periods, you can only imagine my thoughts. No, you can't, because goddamn, I love this idea. If there's one thing you should learn about me, it's that I likes me a thickums.
This stuff will make you a goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus. Just like me.
If there's two things you should learn about me, it's that I'm a sucker for horror documentaries and anthologies. So, if this latest endeavor ticks one of those checkboxes, count me in. With the compilation format of storytelling, it's like Marvel's What If series, but, you know, with actual fan interest behind it instead of content for content's sake to fill some streaming quota. We've learned from the behind the scenes of Killer Vision that this isn't just a collection of hunts spread across human history, but apparently all three are connected. The plot, she thickens. Our time periods include the Viking Age, Feudal Japan, and World War II. Now look, I like 2010's Predators, but even I'll admit that the Predator versus Yakuza with a samurai sword fight was underwhelming. So, the fact that we're getting a full-on episode of a hunter set in the land of the rising sun during their Middle Ages has my Jolly Roger set to full mast. You stand me?
Goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus. Just like me.
Strap this on your sore-ass plane.
I mean, that dream match is more of a compelling matchup than a gorilla versus 100 men, or pitting one woman to contend with her accountability. What got me wondering is if the Viking tale is based off of the legend of Beowulf. I only say that because, firstly, the poem written during the time of the Nordic raiders includes a chapter where the monster Grendel is surrounded by warriors in a mead hall similar to the depiction in this trailer. Secondly, I'm guessing the Grendel inspiration is why they opted to make this Predator Goliath-sized and dangerously similar to the abomination from Predator 2018, which I'm willing to forgive for now. I'm not gonna lie. While I'm of course interested, as I imagine most people are, in the samurai episode, and looking forward to the Viking chapter, I'm most curious as to what they've got up their sleeve for the World War II story. As you can tell from the trailers, this is a hunt that takes to the skies. While I've always wanted the franchise to be set in space and in the future, what goes along with that territory is my hope to see Predator vessels hunt down human spacecraft. Well, hunters targeting fighter jets is certainly a close second. My only abiding critique is that I wish this could have been a video game. You have to understand the advantage that certain mediums of entertainment hold over others. Universal's Dark Universe could have never worked as an Avengers-style shared cinematic landscape, but not only could it have absolutely worked as a video game, bitch, it already did. Ever heard of Terrordrome Rise of the Boogeymen? That being said, if we aren't getting this premise as an interactive immersive title, I am happy that we're getting this as an animated feature. This idea was stupidly proposed, and not just after Prey's release, but there were some sophisticants suggesting that other franchises should follow the 2022 Predator prequels template. These were the same smooth brains who, the moment that Halloween 2018 hit, they were championing other horror films to follow suit with that same prototype. Yeah, how did that turn out for Netflix Chainsaw Massacre and The Exorcist Believer? Sit down and shut up, stupid. Hollywood executives are going to push for trends and fads all on their lonesome to avoid having to reinvent storytelling. They don't need any lessons in redundancy and bootlegging, especially from some attention-seeking Redditor who thinks they just cracked the code on plagiarism. Now, why do I praise this animated form instead of live action? Because again, this works as a side story spin-off, not a feature-length film or sequel. You have to pick your battles and choose wisely your mediums. While I'm rooting for this film's success as an addition to my favorite horror franchise, as well as an anthology, I do hope the director Trachtenberg's politics don't get in the way of these stories. We're not interested in your race ideologies or social justice. And if you don't think that those can easily derail a film, just check out the glowing press surrounding the fourth attempt at a Fantastic Four movie. I'll be hosting a watch party for this film this Friday when it releases, so be on the lookout for my Mind's Eye Theater post on my socials. Props to the animators for their choice of art style. It looks like a comic book version of cell shading, and it avoids that stiff character movement that you usually get with CGI animations. I'm looking at you, RE movies. God, Resident Evil movies suck. But Killer of Killers clearly followed the assignment because they demonstrate just how brutal these hunters are when going for the kill.
Not human.
Get over here!
With an anthology format to entice and excite fans and a violent tone fitting of the franchise, they surely couldn't do anything to ruin the look of the Predator, right? I've been Incarnate reminding you,
Goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus!
I ain't just a big deal, I'm the real deal. If you're resigned to your fate, time to subscribe to your fears.
Warn your friends. Warn everyone.